The Connection Show. Inspiring hope, health, healing. Connecting the dots of your story and transforming your life. Sponsored by Braveheart Workshops. Live with Jill Reynolds.
The Connection Show, inspiring hope, health, and healing. Joining me today from Branson, Missouri is Carolyn Boss. Welcome to the show, Property Boss.
Well, thank you very much. It's exciting to be here.
Well, we've got some exciting news, don't we, in Branson, Carolyn?
That's right. We're putting together a Braveheart workshop.
Yes, well, it is called Resilient Bravehearts for such a time as this, the conference. And Carolyn is going to be one of our honored speakers there, and you are going to be so excited to hear from her. So before we begin today's interview, I'd love to flash the information about it. So it's called Resilient Bravehearts for such a time as this. It's an all-girls and women's conference in Branson, Missouri, August 19th and 20th. So we'd like to let you learn a little bit more about it. So listen in now.
From the beginning of time, God has commissioned women from around the world to mentor, encourage, teach and train tweens, teens, college students, and young women to be courageous and fearless women of God. In 2023, Queen Esther's need to rise up to save our nation and the generations to come. Receiving a crown of beauty for ashes, God has called older women to teach younger women that they are good enough and are wanted by a king who wants them to arise as resilient Queen Esthers and to live wisely, purely, and be good. Join us for 2 days at Yakov Theater in Branson, Missouri on Saturday, August 19th, 2023 and Sunday, August 20th, 2023 for Resilient Bravehearts Women Conference for such a time as this. Come in a day early to see Esther at Sight and Sound Theater.
Hi, I'm Jill Reynolds with Resilient Braveheart for such a time as this, coming to Branson, Missouri, August 19th to 20th, 2023. We will be meeting at Yakov's Theater, and I'm so excited for the event. No longer broken and becoming the best you will be joining us at this event. It's for all women of all ages, from 12 years old to 100. You don't want to miss this event. Come to Branson and be with us for this amazing weekend of hope, health, and healing.
Register now by going to braveheartworkshops.com.
So that looks so exciting. I can't wait till everyone makes it to Branson, Missouri. And this is, the beauty of Branson is behind me in this virtual background here. This is Stonebridge Resort, where they have lodges and condos and villas to rent, and we're surrounded by the Ozark Mountains and beautiful lakes. And so, Carolyn, we'd love the audience to know just a little bit about you. So tell us, why did you decide to do this particular conference and want to speak at this?
Well, I am the youngest of 8 kids. Just to tell you a little bit about me, I come from a big family. I have a twin brother. I'm married to Michael. I have 3 children. My youngest just graduated high school, so I'm entering that empty nest time of life. So I'm elected to the Branson School Board, and so I have a heart just for young women to grow up strong and in the admonition of the Lord, and also to just rise up and be leaders. We need that going forward in every area. And so I really think the time is now that we have to step up and do what we can.
Amazing. And being part of the school board, I'm sure you've seen so many different things changing in our schools today. And in the Bible, Titus 2 talks about that older women are to rise up to mentor younger women so that they'll grow up wisely, purely, and to do good. And so from the time I happen to be 69, I don't know if you want to share your age, but from the time you grew up till now, have you seen a change in the way children are kind of assimilating to the world?
Yeah, there's a big culture battle out there, and we have to be aware of it. And we also have to we got to go back to our roots, which is the word of God. And that's always going to be getting back to the basics. We're never going to go backwards from this technology that we're in. We have to learn how to navigate it properly. I think that comes with saying, our stories, passing down, the time periods that we came through. So I kind of describe myself as half paper, half electronic, because that's when I grew up. Like, we were still doing paper payroll, and now everything's electronic, for example. So it really is about transitioning, because like my children have had electronic everything. And I think that there's a balance. There's also wisdom. And there's also the idea that we're not here by ourselves. We're integrated together, and social media is not going to win. We are the stories we have for each other, the love that we share amongst each other as a community, whether it's a community of believers or community of neighbors or just a community of women. Like, we have so much to share with each other. And that doesn't come through when it's two-dimensional on an iPad or iPhone.
I think connection is so important, because I really do believe in this world, a lot of people have isolated with social media and become more and more and more disconnected and lonelier each day. And what's a better time than now to gather together with pajama parties, people from coming out of town, renting villas, coming to Branson, and going actually to the Sight and Sound Theater where Queen Esther is playing right now, and get tickets to see that on August the 18th with your church group, your friends, your family. And then get tickets to come to the Resilient Bravehearts for such a time as this event on the 19th and 20th. And Carolyn, I asked all the speakers to pick a specific topic. What topic was it that resonated for you that you'll speak on?
Well, I'm going to do walk in love. And love is such a broad topic, but I decided just to go with walking in love, because I love to walk outside. When I see the scriptures, I see that there are paths. Psalm 23 says there's a path of righteousness, and I'm going to lead you on it. And I love that idea that he's our shepherd, and we're the sheep, and we're not here by ourselves. We are here for him, to glorify him, to enjoy him forever. And he shows us these paths of righteousness, these paths out of the Psalms calls it out of the rivers, out of the desert, and a path out of the woods. It's just the reality that we're going to walk through things, but we're not going to camp out there. We're going to be going through it. So I'm focusing on walking in love and showing that God's love is perfect, and it is perfected in us. And when we align ourselves with it, then everything goes away. Fear goes away, confusion goes away, and we are left with that who our Creator created us to be. And that's a beautiful thing. And I'm looking forward to people awakening to that inside them.
Well, I'm going to ask you to add on one other word with your topic, because as you said this,
Okay.
what resonated with me is, how about walking in joy and love? Because I met some girls last night, actually, if you get a chance when we end this to jump on. They're doing the whole month of June. They're making it the Celebrate of Life month, because a year ago in June is when they turned back Roe versus Wade at the Supreme Court. And the joy of life is now apparent with more and more babies now being saved. And so what would it be like, and so there's the celebration of life month, and they're doing Zooms at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time each day for anyone to join in and celebrate life. So what would it be like as we go into this amazing conference? And where I live, you can see here around this lake is walking trails. And for me, water means life for me. I love water. I love walking like you do. And the joy in that strand when you walk and you see nature and you see birds and you hear that fresh breeze and you just take in the essence of God in nature and beauty. And so what this celebration of life has taught me is, what if we changed our mindset, Carolyn, and took all the negativity in the world and turned it to joy?
Yeah, that is, I think, a big task, right? But it's got to come from the inside out. And unless we get together and see a need, um, we've got to awaken to that fact that there is joy. We can live in joy. We can walk in joy. And it's kind of like a joy is a fruit on the tree. It's one of the 9 fruits of the spirit. So it's part of the evidence that you have love at work in your life, that you have wisdom at work in your life, that you have what he died on the cross, what Jesus died on the cross to give us, which is life and life more abundantly.
And for those who don't believe yet in God or Jesus, will part of your story be your own testimony where they can identify with love if they haven't yet accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior?
Absolutely. This is the great part about sharing our stories, is that someone wants to hear it. And to articulate my journey, it's going to be a path through healing. And I'm excited to be able to talk about that. This will be one of the first times publicly I talk about my health journey, physical health. And I think that also the path through finding peace is a tremendous story that anybody can relate to. And I will point back to the source of a lot of the things that I walk through, but at the same time, we all have our own journeys, and relating to each other is important. And I think everybody will be able to see themselves through other people's. And if not, then we practice empathy, and that's a great thing to practice anyway. Put your feet in my shoes. I put my feet in your shoes.
And I love this saying, look for the similarities in other story instead of the differences. And that's where true transformation comes. And so I am so grateful, Carolyn, to know you. You're a beautiful woman. You have an amazing business growing and thriving in Branson. Tell us a little bit about what kind of work you do.
Sure. So I'm a real estate agent. I love being here. There's a cool story that I'll be able to share on how we actually got to Branson. And I come from Baltimore, Maryland originally. So moving from the East Coast to the Midwest is part of my story. It's really fun. And now I'm here, and I can see I love it here on so many levels. The history here, the fun, the gathering of family reunions and military reunions, and there's always something going on in town. I also think it's like an epicenter for a lot of organizations, and it's truly interesting to see who has an office here and who works here. And of course, I'm a business girl, so I love the business side of our city and just the investment. So I sell real estate, but I really my calling is to help find where people need to be. So if that means your forever home, second home, condo, investment, there's land, there's a lot for everybody. So the Lord's blessing the work of my hands, which is a promise there in his word.
Well, thank you so much. I'd love to turn for just a moment to show Carolyn's bio and how you can reach her with her website and her LinkedIn account. And then I'd also like to mention to everyone that the Reawaken America tour is going to Las Vegas, and I believe it might be the end of their tour. They've been on tour for a year and a half now. The dates are August 25th and 26th. And when you go online to timetofreeamerica.com, make sure when they text you and call you back, you mention the code Braveheart, and you will receive 10% off your tickets. So Braveheart is the code to get those tickets now. So if you live in the West Coast and Colorado, Vegas, and you want to make the Reawaken tour before it comes to an end, get your tickets today. I think there's only about 30% of the tickets left. So you've got a lot to do in August. You come to Branson August 19th and 20th, and go to Vegas the 25th and 26th if you live in that region. And, you know, we're just here to love on each other and grow in community and fellowship. So Carolyn she didn't share a lot about her story tonight, because if we did, you'd have nothing to hear at the event. So you got to come to the event so you can hear Carolyn's story of hope, health, and healing in the world. Carolyn, we look forward to seeing you in like 9 weeks. So get your tickets today, everyone, by going to braveheartworkshops.com. Thanks again, Carolyn, for joining us.
Thank you. I look forward to meeting everybody.
Bye now. Thank you for joining us on The Connection Show. Our show is made possible by your support. Please go to our website and click on the Affiliate Partners page now. You can support us either on Venmo or our Cash App today. We love our podcast guests and our social media subscribers. Our channels are made possible by you, our listeners. Please go to our website and go to our Contact Us page and click on all our social media pages. Make sure you click the bell on YouTube and subscribe, and the follow us button on Rumble. Our affiliate partners are featured on our show, and we thank you for supporting them and their products. Each of them have fabulous offerings with discounts when you mention Braveheart when you order. Please order today by going to braveheartworkshops.com and clicking on Affiliate Partners.